Welcome back to Dum-Dums and Dragons, where improvisers who've never roleplayed before journey into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. I am the Grand Wizard Bukake, your host. Our hero's bachelor party is setting out to assassinate a wizard. Alan and Mudbutt have begun to connect as father and daughter. Quinny is planning to cut Reginald out or leave him out of the loop as necessary, and Reginald stole Quinny's scroll from Baba Yaga to protect himself. What the hell is going to happen at the Fire Festival? Find out next on Dum-Dums and Dragons.
There are no two words in the English language that express success more than the Fire Festival. And that is where you find yourselves, my friends. The doesn't count. It's not a word. You are finally stepping out into the event that you saw getting set up earlier. And like most festivals and events, you kind of like awkwardly saw them in their underwear, and now you're seeing kind of the full performance garb. So the festival is in full swing. It's evening. As most deserts do, it's gotten cool. There's a nice breeze. And as you step out, the tents still look like shit, but the stage is lit beautifully. There is pulsing music coming from the large obelisks, and there's a sense of excitement because no matter how bad an outdoor festival gets, the people who pay to be there will convince themselves it is worth it until the last possible minute. And so the revelers from around Faerun are already in full swing. This is an interesting, weird moment, I think, for those of you who aren't in a barrel, because obviously Reginald comes from a world of war, so this is completely bananas to him. But Alan and Quinny, it has been a good god long time since you saw something this normal. And these people aren't worried about a Ka. They're not worried about the Lord's Alliance. They're not worried about Faerun or any of the things you've been concerned about now for the better part of a couple of years. They're just regular people who are here to enjoy an event. That it is admittedly a shitty event that was misrepresented to them through a cool video, but are just here to enjoy themselves. And I think for both of you in different ways, you've never felt more alien to this world. Alan, you spent so much time in 2099 that everything feels a little bit alien, but particularly this. Because when you were with Declan in Honor System, you saw, fucking Matrix 2 raves. And this is, in a lot of ways, so much more basic than that. There isn't light. The light is all fire. There's no electric lights. And now that you've experienced that, it feels kind of quaint. And weirdly, you realize that part of what you've lost is that feeling of belonging here. And Quinny, for you, having literally been to hell and back, this is, I think in a lot of ways, even though you grew up in the country, this is what you kind of imagined your life would be if you'd grown up in a city. This is the kind of event you would have just ended up at in the same way you ended up at, bush parties and bonfires. Mm-hmm. It's the life, weirdly, that you're trying to avoid, and seeing it through the lens of money and a weird magical casino in the desert is an odd way to see it, but you see it stamped on the faces of so many of the people who are here. It's that same sense of restlessness and desire for actual adventure and change, and they're using this to kind of patch it. Reginald, all you can think is how easy this place would be to bomb, and that's a huge bummer. But it is almost it's unsettling to be sure, but it's almost offensive how carefree this space is. No one is concerned. No one's checking their angles. No one's worried about where snipers might be. There's no defenses set up around this. In Grim Faerun, there's certainly a lot of these parties, but they're heavily, heavily guarded. They're 4 layers deep of security. The fact that this is just a bunch of people behind a fence is absurd.
Yeah, it's the literal opposite of war.
And Mudbutt, you're looking around, considering all the things that are going on around you. The wooden walls, the smell of slightly stale standing water, how damp it is in here, the general stink you still have. There might be a party outside. You're not sure. You're in a barrel. But you're also thinking about Winchester. And you're thinking about who Grimebottom was before he met Igneous Plantier. You're thinking about what your hopes were for being a son and having a dad. You're thinking about all of the people that you met when you returned to Winchester and how excited they were, how excited you were that the nightmare was over, and then to learn that all of them had been enslaved under some demonic presence. All of this boils back down to Igneous Plantier. And while you freed all of them and you can't undo what's been done, you can still make things right if you can just cut them in half, top to bottom, bottom to top, side to side. It really doesn't matter. Just some kind of vivisection that really just ends this. You'll finally be able to fully embrace the new life you have. Because the one thing holding you back from true happiness is this one unfinished story. If you're not going to do it for you, you at least need to do it for little Richard. And so the four of you make your way into the Fire Festival. Now, you have VIP passes, so you're able to get in. With your VIP passes and enough Karen-esque complaining to the manager, you're able to bring in your barrel. Good news is that this place is so badly planned. They're just excited someone is bringing more booze. It doesn't really matter what it is or who brought it. They've understaffed and under-resourced it so much that they know just extra booze will help. So you're able to bring the barrel in without much difficulty, which is a pleasant surprise. But you've reached the point where you need to split off. The show will be beginning shortly. Reginald and Quinny need to make their way backstage with the barrel to sell out. Mudbutt and Alan, you need to find a place backstage for support. Their plan is pretty clear. Alan, what's your plan for getting backstage?
So we're back. Like, we've gotten through the VIP
You're
passes?
in the Fire Festival. Yep, so you're back in the campsite. The stage is ahead of you.
I think it's basically going to be like getting in with the pass, and then I'm going to find an opportune moment to fucking sneak under that stage to the other side.
Okay, well, your VIP pass will get you into the wings.
Yeah.
It'll get you past the fence and into the wings where you can kind of watch from the side. So as you kind of nod to Quinny and Reginald, do you say anything to them before you split off?
I'm not compelled to say anything.
Great. So you take your leave and you begin to sweep through the crowd. You approach the barricades, and the fire sprites you saw earlier are gone. In their stead are proper elementals, large, bulky creations of fire. They may, based on your knowledge of these things, may actually be the same creatures. They're just at a much higher amplitude now. But there's also the Dragonborn woman who you saw working security earlier. Now she's in like roadie tactical gear. So it's like one of those weird jackets that like everyone who works security at an event wears. So like a windbreaker that says security. But it says it in like 3 fantasy languages. And she's kind of like checking a clipboard as people come up. And as you come up and flash your pass, she says, yeah, all right. You won that from the Feats of Strength, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
So what's your favorite thing about Igneous Plantier's show?
I'm just excited to see the show. I've never seen it before.
Oh, all right. Well, it sounds like you can do that from out here.
What are you talking about?
Listen, we get a lot of threats. We get a lot of concerns, and clearly you're not a fan. So
No.
his
Listen
magic
to
is
me.
great. You can enjoy it from the pit.
No. I have been hearing about this show for years. My parents have told me about it. My sister's been to it. Everybody I know has been to it. And they've told me every single detail, and I just want to see it for myself. And I just want to meet Igneous because I'm such a big fan already.
I was going to make you roll a check, but I didn't expect you to bring Tiffany Rathburn to bear.
Yeah. She made an impression on me.
She looks at you with a mix of pity and disgust. And she goes, all right. A burner broad. Cool. One of his fan crew. Great. He'll be very happy to see you. I am sure. Come on in.
Thank you. I'm like wiping my eyes.
She doesn't even look you in the eye as you go through. Because behind you are 4 more people who do that exact same speech, but they do it genuinely. And she's like, right, yep. And they're all wearing like burner broad shirts. And she's like, I hate this. All right, yeah, come on up. So Alan, you find yourself wandering backstage. The lights are dim. Igneous is nowhere to be seen. But you hear like the fan group just be like, oh, he's my favorite of the Planteers. Like, I thought some of the other ones were cool. And like, obviously everyone loves Cormium, but I just really feel like Igneous is like, he's the hottest one. Someone's like, shut up, Karen. Obviously he's the hot one. He's the fire. And then they get into a minor fight. And you can see that now the cages have satin sheets over them. And you can hear the classic sound of owl bears, the like, whoo, whoo, coming from the cages. Meanwhile, Mudbutt, you're being jostled around inside this barrel as Quinny and Reginald attempt to drag the barrel to the backstage space. How do you guys intend to announce this betrayal? Like, what's the scheme for getting this in? You can't really take the same tactic Alan did. How are you going to get there?
I mean, Reginald's plan is always to open with like, I've got a gift for someone important to like underlings. So he starts nice, but he is also a general in a horde that was like ruled by assassination. So like, if they don't take to that, he'll start with like, you know what? He won't even start nice. That's a lie. He would start with intimidation because he would need them to think he was important to get past the guards.
Okay.
And then if there's anybody who stands up to him, he has a magical ability that will start to affect whoever gets in his way.
All right. So go ahead and roll an intimidation check, please. Because I think as you basically it's you drag the barrel up and Quinny's like, doing that thing I usually do when people ask me to help them lift heavy things, where I'm like, I'm helping, and I'm like, I'm standing.
My hands
my arms are trembling, but I am not assisting.
Yeah, so I walk up and I'm like, hail, friend, we've got a gift for Igneous Planteer, and it's something pretty important from somewhere pretty important. I rolled a 12.
So it's not the Dragonborn lady. She's on the other side. This instead is, we'll say this is a hobgoblin. And she is flipping a dagger between her fingers. And she's just giving you a look that's a bit of a game-recognized game. But at a 12, she is not having it.
All right, let me rephrase.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, Igneous gets lots of gifts. He gets boxes of used underwear that he doesn't want. He gets weird fan fiction about him and sometimes his siblings, which I just do not care for. So listen, it's cool that you dragged this barrel this whole way, but I got to tell you, he's pretty fancy and he doesn't really need a barrel.
Well, let me rephrase, my friend. And behind my back, I just like cut my palm, and I'm going to amplify this ability. So that means I take 6 points of damage. Oh, that was expensive.
That was a deep cut.
Yep.
Jesus.
Well, it's
I
not
need
all
tendons to make the spell.
Yeah.
When he's behind you being like, Jesus God, what is this?
Yeah, you see the deep cut. So the blood disease strip, but the blood empowers the magic. So I just used an ability called Blood Curse of the Anxious. So I amplify the adrenaline in the body of a creature within 30 feet. I choose the creature in front of me, who is now susceptible to forceful influence.
Damn, son. Here's just before we go on with this check, Ryan, quick question for you. What's the method you use to cut yourself? Because it occurred to me after last session, you don't have blades that we know about. So what do you use to do the cuts?
I think he's got almost like you wouldn't notice it in his armor off the bat, but there's just like a razor tip to the pinky fingers. It's almost like the armor equivalent of it doesn't have to be as long as a coke nail, but it's like.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
It's like the wrestling like razor cut. So it'll open him up when he needs it to.
Or Casanova von Frankenstein from Mystery Man. You've just got the little Jeffrey Rush murder finger. Great.
100%. Mm-hmm. So until the end of my next turn, I don't even need to amplify it, but I did anyway, so screw it. I'll continue with it. So now I have, we all, myself and Quinny, both have advantage on intimidation checks against this creature, and the creature has disadvantage on its saving throw until the end of my next turn, I think. Yeah.
All right. So Quinny, you're seeing, you see this like surprisingly deep cut appear in Reginald's hand. And almost imperceptibly, you notice like just the pulse on the hobgoblin's throat beat a bit harder. And you see her start to shuffle a bit awkwardly. If this was like L.A. Noire, you might be like, oh, they're lying right now. So what do you do?
She was flicking a dagger between her fingers.
Yep.
I will take out one of my daggers and I'll start flicking it between my fingers faster and more intricately. And I will say, when Ignis wants specific things brought to him, he calls people like us when he's not looking for amateur literature or dirty underwear. When he wants very precious cargo brought to him, we are the kind of people he talks to, and we have a shipment to complete.
Go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand check, please.
It's a 4 on the D20. So that brings it to a total of 16.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
God for expertise.
You get it going pretty quickly. Ryan, because of his check, I'm going to give you advantage on your intimidation roll, which you would have had anyway. So roll 3 and pick the best.
Beautiful. And I think I will follow him up by saying, I don't think you entirely recognize who we are. My name is Reginald Tingler. I am the heir apparent to House Akar. This is Quinny Brownbarrow, heir apparent to House Akar, a splinter faction who are bringing a gift to Igneous Plantier to build a brighter tomorrow outside of a pointless war that's happening right now. So you can get out of the way, or you can face an army tomorrow. And we will try.
If you can't get it on 3 dice, Ryan, I think we might just call this a series wrap.
I rolled a nat 1, but then 2 19, so the grand total is 25.
Holy shit. It was almost bad.
Yeah. Right. So 25 is our total.
And she kind of nods at you and nods at Quinny. And as you walk by, she just leans down and whispers in your ear, "Hail, unseen hand," and lets you in. That means nothing to you, so whatever. You're just happy you got your barrel through. But she like watches you with like approval now as you dragged through. Mudbutt, sitting inside your barrel, you hear this speech, and honestly, it sounds like they're lying pretty good. But there's just something a little bit off. Just something that doesn't quite sit well with you. How many points do you currently have?
Oh,
I believe it's only 1.
Yeah, we kind of abandoned that.
Well, no, he just failed a bunch of times.
Oh, that's right. We didn't abandon it. He just kept rolling really low.
Yeah. I mean, I think the last time when I kind of questioned why I would need to trick Butthole is a
So yes, I'll give you a point for that. So you're at a total of 2?
Yeah, so I'm at 2 hms.
Okay.
Is that a third that I just heard?
It surely is.
If he saw me cut my hand and pretend to be Reginald, that's pretty bad.
He didn't. He's in a barrel. but he did hear the Reginald thing, and again, none of this sounds like Butthole. Like he's heard how Butthole does this, and the funny thing is, it's not that you said I'm Reginald Tingler, because that means shit all to him. What does mean something to him is none of this tracks as things Butthole would do. And weirdly, Quinny, you're not really even tracking that, because this is the con. This is how cons work. You're actually...
I'm really impressed with what he said. It's
yeah,
not
and also
it's not like a bad thing. It's
this
great.
is kind of what you always hoped Butthole would do when you asked him to.
Yeah.
Instead of declaring unions and like busting up statue making dwarves' houses and having them be pissed. This is literally the con. But Mudbutt, yeah, there's just you're just slowly getting your like Zach Galifianakis in The Hangover, like beautiful mind numbers are starting to come together into something.
Right. Okay.
And then your butt hurts a little bit because they drag you up a flight of stairs. So it's just the barrel going like ka-tunk, ka-tunk, ka-tunk.
They're not rolling the barrel?
No, not up the flight of stairs. It's rolling a barrel upstairs is not a great, not a great
bad
ride
for everyone.
We want you to come out combat ready. We're not going to roll you.
Just like dizzy. Yeah, I was going
You're
to say
still
like
pretty drunk and rolling you around.
Right.
Does
We
not
don't
help.
need to split Quinny crotch to top as you stagger out of a barrel.
right. Okay.
This was a discussion we had earlier before as we started dragging the barrel in the hotel.
Yeah.
So you make your way backstage, and I think you meet basically the stage manager, who says, hi, she reminds you so much of Annan. She's a halfling, but, big, thick glasses and just a mostly burned down cigarette clutched between her lips. She just goes, hi, yeah, so you've got I understand you got to talk to Igneous about a delivery. Is that right?
That's right.
Cool. Well, he's up top right now, but when he takes his first break, I'll be happy to let you talk to him. But as I'm sure you know, he likes to start the show with a bang.
Absolutely, wouldn't we all? We're happy to wait in, shall we say, his stateroom. This is the kind of gift you don't want waiting out in the public eye.
Okay, so you want to talk to him after the show?
Well, is there a limited portion of the wings? I don't know if this will...
I mean, look, if you want to give it to him like as soon as humanly possible, because as I understand, you're fucking big wigs from some big wig place, and then she like takes out another cigarette, lights it with the previous one, throws the stub away, and just keeps smoking. She's like, then you can wait back here. Just stay the fuck out of the way of my crew, and we'll be good. Because, show must go on. We got a lot of owl bears. He insisted on 23 owl bears. Don't know why, but here we are. So either stay the fuck out of the way, and when he's on break, you can show him whatever you got to show him, because, you're not the first weirdos to show up with weird fucking things for him. Or you can meet him in his stateroom backstage, and he'll come visit you when the show is done. Or at intermission. But who knows? Sometimes he just fucks off during that time. Who knows?
I guess we'll wait here. This feels like the right thing. This is very important. It's something we've got to do. So that's fine. We'll stay out of your way and send Igneous over whenever possible.
All right, well, the big guy goes up, she pulls out a pocket watch and clicks it. She's like, fuck me now! And there's a burst of sound and light. And through the obelisks, the final countdown begins to blare out over the crowd. And far above the stage, a giant wooden man who is rebuilt every single night bursts into flames. From the speakers, you hear a voice just say, and it's a voice, Mudbutt, that you recognize all too well, just say, I hear you all like illusions. Well, do you like them hot? And then the statue explodes, and Igneous Plantier floats Magneto-style out of the flames.
Oh man!
And descends through the basically fucking skylight, and drops to the ground. And he says, "All of you are here to marvel at the power of the Plantiers, and also at owl bears." And suddenly, like all of the silk sheets fly off, and there's just like a bunch of cages of owl bears. And he proceeds to just Job dance his way around the stage, like shooting fire out of his wrists, and then like dancing near owlbears. You can tell he hates this. Like, it is very clear that this is a man who hates every second of what he's doing. I assume you're all just going to like let this play out until he comes backstage.
Yeah, I think right now.
Yeah.
The more spell slots he uses in his show, the better.
I was going to say, watching the stage from where he is, I think all that's happening for Reginald is he's leaning over to Quinny and going, so how much of this do you think is actually tiring him out versus how much is like weird close-up magic bullshit?
I've never seen him work. I've just seen him bid.
All right, well, let's watch and see what we can figure out. So I guess I've seen battle mages, I guess. So,
but you can hear all this from your barrel. Do you chime in?
I kind of want to. My battle axe has like a little kind of like point.
Yep.
On the tip of it, so I kind of want to like make a little hole so I can like see what's happening, and also so I can kind of like talk.
Yep. Totally.
Just be like, dude. There he is, fellas. What are we waiting for?
I'm going to start banging on the barrel and just be like, oh, man, this gift needs to wait, though, until he comes to the gift so that he can get the gift.
Quinny's going to stoop down and pretend to be like tying his boot and just speak near the barrel opening and be like, we're going to wait for him to come to us, right? It's like fishing. We don't go to him, he comes to us, and then we spring the trap, okay?
But have you ever been fishing?
My fishing is I jump into the water and grab as many fish as I can.
Yes, where you previously pooped. I get it. Okay, so
that draws them to the surface, and then you just kind of pluck them.
What is in your feces? Oh my God.
It's highly explosive with the amount he drinks. It's called PNP. He just puts in the lake and then pyromaniacs it.
Fun fact, if you read the Anarchist Cookbook, pork and apple are really the most explosive combo. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
this is his third booze barn.
So, that's why he built it in a barn. So easy to raise. Okay, so... Mudbutt, you hear them trying to subtly caution you to wait. Does that work on you?
I think I'm trying to convince them. It's like, what if you kind of just like accidentally roll the barrel out front, and then he'll be like, I'm a dumb. What's all this? And then I pop out and I just slice him from the crotch right up to the head.
Okay,
but we
want
this to be perfect for you.
Yeah, Mudbutt, can you just give us a second? I just want to discuss this idea with Quinny because I think it has certain merits. And then I just want to gesture Quinny over because like 6 inches away you can't hear. There's like firebombs going off.
You just stuff your thumb in the hole.
Yeah. I'm like, Quinny, here's the deal. Can we actually stop him from doing this? Because we could just roll him out there and see how this one plays out. I love a plan, but this plan's been chaos to begin with.
No, look, I think we're onto something here with waiting. And rolling Mudbutt out there into the middle of a stage puts him pretty far distance from us, so we can't help him if he gets into trouble.
Oh, no, listen, I'm not saying that it's a good plan. I'm just saying if he climbs out of the barrel here, it is a lot worse than if we rolled him out on stage. Also, this show is long. This is not like I have fun, here's 10 minutes of magic. I checked a program on the way in, and this guy goes for 2 hours, and I don't know where break falls.
Currently he's doing the bit where he's like, hello, Oasis Casino, Hotel and Lounge. I am Igneous Plantier, and you are here to be amazed. And he sounds like a dove made of fire up in the air.
Yeah, he's going to start doing crowd work in a second. It takes a lot of work to make magic take 2 hours.
Look, Mudbutt put this off until we were available for his bachelor party, okay? I have to believe that he can wait a little while longer. I trust him. I believe in him. He can wait. He can wait in the barrel. If you need a contingency to keep you from feeling kind of squirrely about it, if he starts to come out, we'll both give him what he wants, tip him over, and roll him anyway, okay?
Alan, you can see this happening from across the stage, and you have your finger guns talking power now, I suppose.
Yes, I do.
Do you send anything to them, or do you just kind of
actually do. I was actually thinking of, just like pointing at Quinny, being like, dude, what's going on? What the fuck?
Plan right now is we wait for him to go through his show, either on a break or maybe at the end. He'll come to us here in the wings, and that's when we spring the trap on him, right here, side stage.
Okay, so I just point again. I'm like, okay, I'll wait on the other side.
Just one other thing. Your stepdad, he's getting real antsy. If you want to send one of these mental notes to him just to keep him cool, really appreciate it out here.
So I just point to the barrel because I can if I know because I know he's there, so I can do it through the barrel. It's like
I move my thumb. You can see his eye.
Dad,
What?
shut up! I'm in your head. Just I'm whispering to you from afar. Just shut
fun.
up.
Oh, okay.
Shut up.
All right.
Keep still.
Okay.
Do what Quinny says. You fucking wait.
I mean, we were just talking about them rolling me over. So
Shut up. Wait.
Okay, but wait for when? Like a bit?
Wait.
Like how long?
For Quinny to say it's okay.
So as soon as he says the word okay, I can go?
No. No.
Well, but when he...
You just fucking wait.
Until
I
need
will fucking get in
instructions.
your head. I will get in your head again, and I will
Why
say
is he
now.
saying so many words out loud when no one's talking to
No,
him?
it's not how it works. He's just talking.
To who? That's not what he says to himself. Wait, shut
No,
up
it's
when Quinny
Alan's
says
talking to
okay.
him. Alan's talking to him.
How
Okay,
is
now.
Alan talking to him?
Magically.
Dad, when
Does
I say
Al talk to
now
you?
in your head, only then can you spring out. Not before then. You got it?
so when you say the word now, then I go.
Yes.
Okay.
And until then, shut up.
Yes, dear. Oh, how's Richard?
He's fucking great. Now shut up.
Give him a kiss for me. Give him a little kiss.
Do you understand what shut up means?
Look, I don't know what you got against Richard. I mean, he's just adorable.
Shut up.
Meanwhile, Igneous is continuing his bit. He's doing the whole like Job's like knife,
The knife in his mouth for no reason.
thing. Yeah.
So good.
He like pulls open his shirt and he's just got a random card number on it, and he just points at a guy in the front row, and he holds up a card, and the crowd goes wild. They're also just like none of them have really eaten in a couple days, so they're all just very
Right.
delirious and excited. And then finally, after it's a 2-hour show, intermission comes at about the hour mark. It feels like 7 hours to all involved. He stalks backstage, and it's full on like James Woods as Hades, like shoulders hunched, just like furious, lighting a cigarette with his own finger. And he talks to the stage manager, and she points to you guys. So, and you see his eyes kind of go wide, and he comes over, and like they're playing like weird, shitty interstitial music to just kind of cover it. And he comes over, and he says, "Oh, great. A car comes calling. And to what do I owe the pleasure? Just a bomb? You here to kill me? What's the deal?"
Well, we don't come a-calling this time. We come a-courting. We have a gift for you. Oh, Master
of closure.
Plantier.
Really? And he just kind of like does a full condescending wonka where he like puts his thumb under his chin and he just leans his head against, I guess, a beam that's magically there. And he's like, oh, okay. And what does Butthole Farch have for me? Listen, we know what went down with Cormium. He told us all about it. So what could you possibly offer me?
Well, I'm trying to move past what happened in the past, which is why I thought I could make an offering. Inside this barrel, thump thump, is King Mudbutt, thinking he can come out to betray you, but instead we've trapped him in a barrel, the victim of your greatest crime, and now he's yours to do with as you please.
Listen, I have been told, and no Plantier will ever believe the word of Butthole Farch. That's insanity. I don't buy this for a moment.
Okay.
It's true, sir. Butthole has had a change of heart. This is a completely new Butthole. Trust me, you don't know this guy anymore. And, well, Butthole and I, we both agreed that, well, it would be in our mutual interest to reach out to the Plantiers. Obviously, we've had some run-ins in the past. We do have Mudbutt in this barrel for you. It's actually kind of funny. We beat him to within an inch of his life and thought, you know who'd probably like to deliver the final blow to this fool? Probably the guy who made him look like the biggest fool his kingdom had ever seen. Do it once again.
Boys, I'm going to need deception checks from both of you, please.
Oh, yes. What is that total?
I don't know. You tell me.
Sorry.
That's how the game works.
Yeah. That's a 30, baby. That's an 18 plus 12.
Wow.
You have 12 to deception?
Yeah. It's another one of my expertise skills.
That's so wild.
Proficiency is doubled.
Wow.
On
I rolled a 10.
key skills.
Okay. So
That's with advantage.
so he seems to be picking up what you're putting down, Quinny, which is pretty good. But Ryan, you have rolled tremendously badly. You can feel this slipping away. And as a lifelong coward, you know when something's really slipping away. And you can see the concern on Igneous's face. And you realize that if you really want to clinch this, it's not time for Butthole Farch. Might be time for Reginald Tingler.
All right, so clearly you don't trust Butthole Farch. Now let me tell you a shocking truth. I'm no Butthole Farch. I'm Reginald goddamn Tingler. And you want to know how you can know that? 'Cause fuck Moonhammer. She's a skank.
And suddenly, like, his grin disappears. And he's like, okay. First of all, thank you for that. You are clearly not Butthole Farch. Thank you for bringing me King Mudbutt. And he just puts a hand on the barrel and the lid begins to burn. He's like, I should also say, I really appreciate this. And I really wish you'd opened with that. And I'm so sorry about what happens now. And so the barrel begins to ignite.
I fucking point at it because I don't know what the fuck he's waiting for, even though I haven't given the word now. Now.
Mudbutt, you hear the word now as the barrel begins to ignite around you.
I take a big step back in the barrel and then I kind of body check through it.
Step back in the
He's going to do a 1-inch body check, Tom.
Yeah, like Bruce Lee.
Yeah. But like what we talked about this before.
one-inch punch.
Yeah. So then I kind of like, I wait till it burns a bit more so that it's easy to go through.
Okay.
And so then I bust through it and I take my big axe that's out and I just swing up.
Roll to attack with advantage.
All right. 1.
You get to roll it again
advantage?
because you have advantage.
All right.
Oh, Jesus.
In my brain, it fails. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Shit. 3. God. And I use like drunk points, or it doesn't matter anymore.
It won't matter. You swing low like a sweet chariot, come for to carry his balls home. And you cut a line across the ground, and it's full on like if this was anime, you're going to do that like cleaving jump where the villain stands there happily and then just like falls apart. You strike up from below, just straight up into his nads, the same way you did with Grimebottom. And Deathmonger explodes.
Oh no!
As it hits his nuts. The head of Deathmonger shatters, and you come up through him, and you look at the haft of your axe, now missing a head, and he just looks at you and smiles, and he says, "Ah, yes, Junior. How's Winchester?" And then he shoots forth a hand, and a blade of fire spikes out of it. Everybody roll initiative.
Oh,
My
fuck.
God. Jeez.
Oh, that's not great.
So Tom,
God damn it.
Nah, I'm gonna let it go. I thought I was gonna use something, but I'm gonna save it.
All right.
7 initiative.
You
for
made
Quinny.
not a bad call on that front there, Ryan. Okay. So
7 for me as well.
makes you feeling better, Tyler. I rolled a 2 and a 1. So
Well, good.
I rolled a
God.
5.
I rolled a
Plus 1 is 6.
I rolled a 4.
We're all in the neighborhood. So the 3 of us rolled 4s.
I
a lot
rolled
of fours.
I rolled a 6.
6.
My initiative's only +1.
Mudbutt, you also had 6?
Yeah, 5 plus 1, 6.
Great. And I'm sorry, Reginald, what do you have?
4.
Cool. And then Quinny had 4.
Sorry, I had 7.
Oh, 7.
I was thinking of
Mr.
something
Big
else.
Dick over here.
You got
All
plus
right,
3 decks.
So, Mudbutt and Alan, what is the modifier you get to initiative?
1.
Plus 1, yeah.
Okay, I need each of you to roll a d20 and tell me the result.
7.
8 plus 1.
Christ. Mudbutt, you're up first in that order. But top of the round is actually Quinny. So Igneous reaches out with fire. But as he does so, you actually see him just look to the sky weirdly. And the fire, he's going for a T-1000 arm spear. You see the fire dissipate because he seems distracted. I rolled a 1 for him, so he's got to suffer something. And his eyes are just locked on the sky, which brings us to you, Quinny, top of the round.
I pop Frostbite, snatch it out of the air. And I will...
You can also delay your action if you want. Sneak attack damage.
I almost want to. I mean, he's right there already engaged with Mudbutt, right? Or is that not really counting right now?
He rolled a 1, so theoretically it was going to be his turn, but he failed horribly. So no,
Pooched it?
it's yeah.
Okay, in that case, I do want to spend my turn.
Yep.
But instead of taking out Frostbite, I will actually I'll take out my physical sword, the captain's rapier, and I'll hand it. I'll just basically shoot it up out of the scabbard and then extend the handle to Mudbutt, so he's got a weapon to fight with.
Great.
And say, "Take it."
Oh, wait, what weapon do I have now?
You've got a rapier.
Ooh, okay. Thank you.
I believe it's +1.
I've got it. Oh, right. I've added my own thing to it. It is +1. Yes.
Okay.
So, Adam,
And
it'll
it's-
be your. I think just for ease of use, let's say it has the same stats as your axe.
Sweet.
Because
Okay.
I mean, a rapier doesn't hit as hard as an axe, but you're also an angry, vaguely drunk barbarian. So I feel like it doesn't matter.
Okay. That's good.
Because rather than one strike with an axe, it's 5, just whacks with a rapier. Doesn't really matter if it's cutting into you. You're just whack, whack, whack.
Right.
Yeah.
Wicked. So you toss it to him, Mudbutt. You drop the sort of haft of Deathmonger, and you catch this blade. Here's my question: do you try and screw the blade onto the top of the haft so you've got a weird pole arm, or are you just using it as a sword?
No, full sword. So I take the, I take the shaft. And I kind of I throw it at him, just to
That helps with the distraction. He's like, "Ow, fuck, what?"
yeah, stick, and then I grab the sword.
Cool. All right, great. Man, that's a slick move, Tyler. Good work. All right, Mudbutt. You have a sword in hand. Igneous Plantier stands before you. The man responsible for all of this. What do you do?
I'm still in shock from my axe exploding because I didn't think this is
Balls
going
with that Hardy.
Yeah, this my plan was I'd be done by now, but this isn't going according to my plan. So I'm holding the sword and I'm just you foul wizard, I'm done with your tricks. First you tricked my father, then you tricked me. You probably tricked some other people too.
Well, there's a whole paying audience he definitely tricked.
Yeah. Well, guess what? You son of a bitch. You can't have tricks. Tricks are for kids. And then I just like slash at him.
Are you going into a rage, sir?
Not yet.
Okay, fair enough.
Not yet.
So go ahead and roll. You get 2 attacks.
Okay. Oh, come on, dice. Geez. So I got a 3.
Totally
is it-
hits.
Oh, it's
I'm kidding. It does not.
okay. Wait, can I oh no, I'm not in a berserker rage, right? So I can't re-roll, or can I?
No.
No, you're not raging, so you can't reroll.
Oh, all right. Well,
I'm sorry. I will say, Adam, both you and Laura have a point of advantage from your heart to heart over the burritos.
So you can
nice.
cash that in for a reroll.
So you can cash that in for a
inspiration.
reroll. Yep.
oh, all right. Okay. Come on, burrito. Okay, 11 plus, I guess, what would that be?
like
8?
8 or something?
So like 19?
19 will hit.
All right.
Good work, burrito.
Yeah. Okay.
You did it again, you tasty treat.
So then I do, it's the same as the great axe. It's 1d12 plus 4.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Is this it? Yeah. I go, wah. All right. 11. So 15.
All right. Sound hit, and then roll your second attack.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. Oh, do I have like drunk powers, or like does that deter?
I've been giving you a break on those for this round because this is a vitally important thing, but also you're not raging, so they would just give you disadvantages.
Oh, okay.
But
All
I'm
right.
being nice for narrative reasons.
Thank you. I rolled a 6 this time.
Oh, yeah, cool. Great hit. So you're like, thwack, thwack, and then you go to strike him again, and he just catches it with his hand. And the blade begins to turn like that molten hot.
It's like red hot.
Like, yeah, the red hot, like that weird kind of like orangish yellow as the blade heats up. Brings us to Alan. You're in the fan groupie section. They're like, "Oh wow, he's gonna fuck them up."
I just stride forwards because I'm across from them, right? I'm on the other side of him. Yeah. So I just stride forwards towards him.
As you
and,
take a step onto the stage, you hear a metallic grinding, and all of the owlbear cages begin to descend into the stage.
Oh my God.
They're not down yet, but they're on their way. Continue to do whatever you're going to do. Just be aware there
all
are
right.
23 owlbears are
can
about to
I
get
have
very yorty.
Can I? Great. Can Igneous make a wisdom saving throw? So, DC 15.
Based on his modifier, I'm betting he can. Sorry, 15 you said?
Yeah.
Nope, I spoke too soon. Despite his +6, he fails. I rolled a 7.
Wonderful. I'm so excited because this has never worked before. And so I've really hesitated using it. So I walk forwards and I just point, I stretch out my arm as if I'm kind of like reaching into him. And I just say, "Fear me." And he is struck with Phantasmal Killer and is now frightened of me.
And Phantasmal Killer shows him the thing he's the most afraid of. Is that correct?
Yeah. So basically in front of him, like I imagine it to be where like I am, or he's not frightened of me. Sorry, he's just frightened.
Okay.
He sees like I basically tap into his mind and create like an illusory image of his greatest fear.
Do you also see it?
No, he's the only one who sees it.
Cool. All right. And what's the mechanical effect? He's just frightened in general?
He's frightened now. At the start of his first turn, he's going to have to make another wisdom saving throw or be super damaged.
Okay. Very cool. So he immediately lets go of the rapier, and the blade begins to cool, and he stumbles back. And Mudbutt, because he's engaged in combat with you, he's going to see it where you are. and he actually drops to his knees, and he just says, "How did you get here so fast? I called you as soon as I could, as soon as I knew he was here. How did you get here so fast?"
Oh, well, I'm getting married, and so I decided to have a bachelor party. And so me and my adopted daughter and a couple buds of mine, who you just met, we came over, and then I found out you were here.
Reginald, as this conversation is happening, you see Igneous drop to his knees, and Mudbutt just really start to recap things, which is kind of nice. You also see all the owlbear cages descending into the ground. What do you do?
Yeah, well, owlbears are bad, but wizards are worse.
Agreed.
You got to fight in your order of priorities. So, seeing his enemy fall to his knees, Reginald flashes back to the military training he had to do in the first round of a Ka. And, people often think soldiers start with swords. And that's not true. They're not ready for those. So they think maybe they start with wooden swords. And that's not true either in a Ka where he's from. They actually start with wooden sticks of a certain length with a rounded knob on one end, going towards a slightly wider end on the other, that are referred to as war bats. So he reaches behind his back and draws forth his warhammer with two hands and then just says, "Batter up," and then he's going to swing it over his head. And while he does that, with his bloody palm touching the weapon, as a bonus action, I cast Crimson Right. So I take damage again. I drain... Okay, only 2 health this time. That's a little better. And I add damage to the weapon as it strikes now because it's magically enhanced. So you actually see lightning run over the course of the weapon's haft and its head. As I swing forward, it's like over the head, two-handed down, and I'm going to try to whack him on the ground.
I'll give you advantage because he's literally on his knees having a conversation.
Great.
Not the best tactical defense.
That is a 26 to hit.
Ooh, yes, obviously.
Cool. That one does. Okay, it does 4 regular damage. Oh, no, sorry, I lied. Jesus. It does 8 regular damage. It does 6 fire damage. And it does 2 lightning damage.
All right, not bad.
And that was my first attack. It's just wham into the ground and then up and over and then just two-handed down on him. I'm imagining I have advantage because he's still on the ground like an idiot.
Surely you do.
Oh, man. This is just like playing the old games of War Ball.
But as you're watching this happen, you actually worry that maybe you've been playing baseball wrong the whole time. Like, you just thought it was about tossing a ball back and forth with your daughter. Maybe it's about coup de grace-ing someone?
I mean, I think I've been swinging my axe wrong this whole time because my axe just dissolved in his nuts and he's just going to town on this guy.
Admittedly, not a problem anymore because the axe is gone. But yeah, fair enough. All right, Ryan, what'd you get?
All right, so I rolled a 15.
So normally no, but because of the Phantasmal Killer, I'm going to say yes.
Cool.
Because, literally, he isn't defending himself. I don't really know how you could not hit with a decent-ish roll to a man who's, having a conversation with a terrifying thing that he sees.
Cool. So that's 6 regular damage, 4 fire damage, and 1 lightning damage, with an end result of a terrible round of rolling.
Yep. It's all right. I'm going to tell you, based on how much HP he has, every little bit helps.
Let's see, how much regular did I say?
Oh, dude, I don't know.
6?
I've been doing fast math over here.
It's okay. I forgot to add 4, so just add 4 more. I forgot to add my strength modifier.
Cool.
I hate it when I do that.
Yeah, I got to tell you guys, I'm literally just writing a span of numbers, doing math as fast as I can, and math is literally the thing I hate the most in the world to have to ever do. So,
all
it's
good.
Cool. Thank you for the follow-up. That was nice.
Tom, in terms of a movement action, because I'm standing over him, I don't know if this would be permissible as an exchange for movement, I would like to extinguish the flame on the head of the Warhammer and drop a ball of flame somewhere else, or would that count as an attack? It's one of those weird things with this weapon. It's not specified.
Normally, I would say no. But again, we're in a strange circumstance where you managed to pull off a sneak attack that also had, like, there's just so many weird factors going that I'd say, yeah, go for it.
Great. I want to drop the ball of flame directly in the middle of the stage. Just so if owlbears come down on, I can drop it 60 feet away.
You got to move it 23 times and you'll be great. Just be set.
Yeah.
You're a pinball wizard.
Here's an interesting thing about this weapon, Tom. If I don't use up my movement action to actively control where it's going, it just goes in a random direction.
Me like you, Dad. Okay, yeah. Cool. Cool. Not cool. Okay. So shit. Why do I was looking at our former order. I was like, oh, I guess Alan's up because the ninjas went. I'm like, that's from earlier. Okay, so Quinny.
Yes. At the risk of shooting myself in the foot, I don't think Igneous has taken a turn yet.
Oh, that's true. I rolled a 1, though, so I'm going to leave him out of that order. I really think between...
Okay.
Oh.
So I already fucked him out of his, like, lance, but then also, like, Alan terrified him, which I really, A, respect, B, want to lean into, and I think you'll understand why soon. So,
Tom, I'm a brand new kind of person, so I don't fight much. So I got abilities that I wanted to do, but I was dumb. It doesn't change anything. It's just called Brand of Castigation. So when I injure an enemy with a right, which is my lightning damage, I sear a brand into him. I could do it like once per long rest.
Cool.
So,
What's the brand look
sear. Like? That's a good question.
All right. Well, you think about it while Quinny's turn that was already in action happens, and then you tell me what it looks like. Go ahead, Quinny.
In the blink of an eye, Quinny is behind him. Frostbite in one hand, bonus action to summon forth a shadow blade in the other, and he's striking with the both of them.
Nice.
I should point out, Mudbutt is still explaining why he's here as this happens.
That's fantastic. So
then we went to this club, and I thought there was going to be birds there, but I was really disappointed. So was Richard. Oh, I got a new Richard, too. He's like a baby Richard.
I'm so sorry, my lord.
Oh, hey. Jeez. Hey,
so
you can't flatter me.
18 to hit with Frostbite.
Yep.
And the Shadow Blade, probably not 15.
No, sadly.
No, okay. That's all right. I dropped my die.
Just say Jumanji and you win.
Jumanji.
Nice.
Weird hunter who's like, I guess my father, kind of, but not really.
It's just another
fuck
Mudbutt.
shows that lean on parent issues as a main plot point. That's what I say to Jumanji.
Fuck them.
And it's we're doing poison. It's 2d10 poison.
This is why I make sure not to give you guys cool weapons anymore.
Oh, okay. What is that? That's a 6. 12. 16. 20. 24. 26. 28. Plus 6. 34 damage.
Wow.
Well,
Yes!
Do you want that broken down in like what's poison, what's cold,
Nah,
if he's
man.
got resistances or not?
Actually, if you have cold, that might matter.
Okay.
Poison does not.
The cold was a total of 4, so either take away 2 or add another 4, depending on what your thing is.
Look, I know none of us have ever played a video game, but you hit the fire guy with an ice weapon, so you tell me what happened. All right. Cool. You guys are fucking really
Well, good, because I know who he thinks he's talking to, and I don't want that guy to show up.
I'm so scared.
Yeah, Ryan knows, but Reginald doesn't know fuck all.
Well,
Yeah,
guys,
no, this is just Tyler just playing.
Yeah, and I got some
playing
good
to
news
his
for you
strengths.
based on the initiative order. You don't need to wonder anymore, because there's a sound that cracks through the air, like if you've ever heard something break the sound barrier. And there is just a fucking something drops out of the sky like a meteor into the middle of the tents and just blasts a bunch of them and the people inside through the air. Two people who were planning on having a fucking run later just blasted through the air.
Oh no.
And out of the crater steps a man who's just, very handsome, well cut. He's got blue skin, green hair. He's wearing just his red arm pads, his little red belt. And he just looks around and he smiles, and it's a radiant, winning smile. And he just says, "Butthole farch. Listen, pal, I don't know what you look like, but you're going to want to put your hand up because I got some questions for you about something. And it's all good. We're going to be great friends. What?" And then he looks down at the crater and he's like, oh no, I'm sorry, this is just going to take a minute. And he sweeps a hand out over the crowd, and just a wave of people before him twist and gnarl and become trees.
God.
And all of you behold for the first time Captain Plantier.
This episode of Dum-Dums and Dragons features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Laura Hamstra at EL Hamstring on Twitter, our special guest, and our DM Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode's sound was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Dum-Dums and Dragons artwork is by Del Borovic, who can be found at delborovic.com. Our theme songs are And Now for That Massive Coronary and Skipping Through the Orchestra Pit Part 1 by Peter Gresser, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum-Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDUMBDICE. And tune in next week for more Dum-Dums and Dragons. Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christian Menicola, Long, the Half-Blind Prophet, James Cuellar, DM Rob, Christopher Little, Joshua White, Olin Anderson, Sue One, Devin Boyce, George Dolby, One True Artistry, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.